Okay, should be good. So this is basically the first game that I'm attempting to make. This is a little snowy town. This is a pre-built town from a asset pack. If I open the content browser here, we'll go to it. It is Stylized Winter City. It's a free asset pack, all the assets I'm using in this first game. Now this game is not going to be reflective of Lone AI. This is just sort of a short, week project that I'm planning on making to sort of get introduced to the engine, learn some of the different aspects, some of the intricate parts of it, and just figure out all about game crafting, world building, coding, blueprints, all that fun stuff. And so this one is going to be a game called Ivan, Where's My Vodka? And it's just going to be a silly, short little game. Basically Mario with a shotgun is kind of how we put it. The player's, of course, going to be Ivan. He's going to spawn over here. And he's going to give you a little bit of a chance to kind of explore the town. Nothing too big. But I didn't want the environment just to go completely to waste. It's going to have a single quest, and that's going to come over to here. And this is where the actual game is going to take place with a little interactive marker. So once you sit down to go to take a swig of your vodka, which is right here in your little snow ice bucket, a portal is going to open up right around this area here. A hand's going to reach through, grab the vodka, yank it back through. Ivan's going to jump up off his little seat here, rip the portal open, jump inside, and go to grab his vodka. And that's going to be pretty much the entire game. From then on, it's going to be sort of like a platformer-esque style thing to go through and retrieve his vodka. The finer details will be mapped out later, but this is kind of the direction we're heading for it. Then after that, it's going to jump into another level. It's going to be a sci-fi themed environment, futuristic style environment, but you're going to be using like modern weaponry that you find along the way. So now let's get into some of the coding and blueprints and some of the character models and things that I've been working on. Alright, here we are. So this is what I've managed to do so far. Now this is strictly focusing on event triggers, animations, damage, health system, user interface, projectile coding, blueprints. I think I already said that. But just, that type of stuff. Just getting introduced with the more intricate things of the engine that aren't necessarily as drag and drop. And so I'm going to go ahead and play it first, and then I'll kind of walk through what I've done in a sort of a shorthand, because this has taken me, just what you're about to see here, it took me pretty much all day. But now that I'm getting more familiar with the engine, it will take, hopefully not as long, to sort of improve upon this. Because once it's already done, like once you already have an asset, it's as simple as just dragging, dropping, and there's your new one. Pretty simple. So once the assets are actually made, it's not as hard. It's just getting started. So I'll go ahead and hop in. We'll play. So there we go. We can move around. I got the shotgun animation. And right now your character basically just follows the camera. Doesn't strafe. Doesn't walk backwards. The jumping animations, not exactly there yet. It's not something I've worked on. So you got the shotgun. You can shoot it. And it kind of snaps to wherever you're shooting. It's another animation I have to smooth. And for some reason, why is my audio not working? I'll figure that out in a second. But of course, you can go over here. You can attack the enemies. They'll die. Don't have it set to where they'll attack if they take damage. But then if you get inside their little sphere, they will chase you. They're slightly faster than you, but you can still outrun them. Again, this is all going to be changed later. But then, right now I have it set to where his attack radius is just slightly smaller. So he'll kind of follow me around like a new friend. But if I get too close, he will start attacking me and I will take damage. And if if I die, it's game over, and then after about 2 seconds, it sticks you back in to here. So, the way you win is you can just walk over here, but I like to just kill all the guys first, make it a little bit more fun, if you can exactly call this fun yet. And then you just walk over this corner that triggers the event. And there you go. This game sucks so far. And it does. But it's something that will be improved. Ignore that.
Yeah, ignore that.
So now, if we dismiss, we open this guy. It's gonna take a second for it to open. Come on. Well, if it's going to open, let me grab Task Manager.
You can watch this.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Stop.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
So this is the coding that I've done.
Yeah, that is his coding.
So this is for the health widget on event tech, sets the world rotation. This basically keeps the health widget facing the player, so that way whenever you're looking at the enemy, because it's just a 2D cast, so whenever you're looking at the enemy, the health widget will basically get your location, see what angle you're looking at from, and then turn to that angle. So it's always facing you. Here's all the coding to attack the player.
Coding.
And there's the sound. So why is it not? Oh no, we'll figure that out in a second. And save.
Yeah, save.
Why is it not save? Okay, strange. So here's all the different coding to attack the player. I'm not going to go too in depth on what everything actually does. I had to learn that for myself.
Yeah.
If you're interested, you can kind of zoom in on it. Let me maximize this. I don't know if it helps in the recording.
Yeah.
But you can read everything, kind of get a general idea of what it does.
Yeah.
This is what happens when the enemy actor takes damage.
Yeah.
And this is the coding to actually chase the player. This is the... It pretty much repeats.
Yeah.
Not this action, but it repeats this action.
Yeah, I got it.
It continually calls this function if the player is in radius.
Yeah, in radius.
So if I go to the viewport here, you'll be able to see there's the capsule for the actor, the health UI, the actor itself with the mesh. This is the attack radius. If you're within this radius, he will attempt to attack. And this is the detection radius. If you're within this radius, he will start chasing you. And that's pretty much it for the enemy character so far. Yeah. Nothing too complicated. I'll probably be adding like detection cones later rather than spheres or cubes. You know, just get a little more advanced, but it's okay for starting out. So that's sort of the enemy there. This little green thing you see here, excuse me, is part of this, and this is, if I open my little content drawer, where is all of my stuff at? Why is all of my stuff hidden? What am I looking for here? Viewports. It's got the viewport. Why? Okay, so me changing the default layout kind of broke the recording, but I think I got everything back the way I wanted it. So I left off, I was explaining what this is. So this is the nav mesh bounds volume. You drag this into the level, and it's a way for Unreal to automatically calculate any path that the AIs can take. And in this level, for instance, it is this green boundary here. The AI can navigate anywhere within this green boundary. And only have it set to these 2 blocks, that way it calculates, well, where it can. But if you have a multi-stage level or multi-height level, that kind of thing, it will need to be set to the correct height. That way it can calculate all the correct meshes or all the correct navigational paths. So then after that, we went to Ivan blueprints, and I showed you the bullet blueprint, because we already went over the enemy, I believe. And so this is the coding for the bullet, just basically on hit, apply damage, destroy actor. And so that is pretty much it for the bullet. Here's the viewport. It's just, for the moment, just a little tiny white sphere, but we can change that to pretty much anything in the later stages of the game. I can make it shoot character models if I wanted to. And like I said, everything is going to be very, very basic, very bare bones until later in the development, when it's easier to just swap in and out meshes. So that's the bullet for now. Then we went over to the player character. So it's a little harder to get to. We have to go down here to the third person, because it's the only blueprint I'm working with right now. Open up the third person character. And this is the coding for third person character. Everything up here in the light gray, or the dark gray, is default, comes with the engine, prepackaged. This is how it already is. Now I did add some things to the end here. And I don't think I added this. No. But I did add this. This adds the health bar widget to the player. Oh yeah, UI is also something I forgot to go over. So this adds the health bar widget to the player. I've already got it mapped down to the bottom left corner of the screen where you saw it. And then this is the same. This is all the same. This is something I added. This is all the coding to fire the shotgun, play the sound, all that fun stuff. And also I figured out why the sound wasn't working. It was just because my speakers were turned off and I'm a dumbass, so let's all ignore that fact. And then here is the code for the health system of the player. And also these are where the hit animations are played for the player. So whenever the player takes damage, it picks a random of 4 animations. Those are in, so if I open the content drawer again, those are, so we go back to Ivan, animations, not raw M, player animations, get rid of that, there we go. So animations, player animations, montages, these are the 4 hit reactions. And so on player taking damage, it will play a random of these 4 hit montages. And then it will destroy the actor. And then, oh, that's where it was, third person game mode. So whenever the player dies, you cast to the third person game mode, which is the, not necessarily the level blueprint, but the game blueprint. So it will work with any level. So whenever the player dies, you cast to the third person game mode, and you call in a function that I've named respawn, which just has a 2-second delay before restarting the current level. And then, so I think that was it for here. So here's the viewport for the character. The current character model, which can be swapped out easily later with pretty much anything I want. Easiest one now will just be swap it over to Quinn, which is the female model, because they all share the same skeleton. If I swap it to something that uses a different skeleton, like say the skeleton, for example, it has the same animation, but I will need to rig, because it'll use the same skeleton as Manny, but I will need to remap the hand bone to the shotgun, because you can kind of see how it just sticks it down there. So we'll take this back to Manny. The arrow is where the projectile spawns from. Camera slightly offset to the right like a traditional first-person shooter. Just, you know, basic kind of FPS stuff, nothing too insane. So go ahead and recompile that, save. And again, my save command is still not working. So I need to go into, I'll do that later, go into the key presses. So I think that was everything I went over after the recording kind of bugged out. I think I've already done the animation showing the footstep sounds, and then kind of how ridiculous it was that the footstep sounds are explosions, because that's the closest related sound file I have for it at the moment. So we'll play through it one more time. Yeah, turn down the speakers a little bit. I also need to work on ADS, different types of movement styles. also get rid of the nav meshes. Because I think this was something, whenever I might have already did it. I don't know. But the capsules are still here. The health mesh is still there. You can see it following me. You can also still shoot it. So these are some things that I have to fix afterwards. And then the trigger for the end of the level is right here. So yeah, that is pretty much everything I've done so far. So I'm going to call it here and just see about what I can do to actually improve things. So yeah, thanks for watching.